Hi, everybody. Did you catch me fixing my hair there? So, I just wanted, since you were in on the beginnings of the garden, the yard in the spring, I just wanted to bring you up to date on where we are for the fall. Everything pretty much is cleared out so far. And we're looking very different, aren't we? Everything's stored over there, and gazebo, hot tub are down, fountain's gone. We still have some flowers, some leaves to come down from up above. So there's going to be more raking to do, or leaf blowing at least. Makes me kind of wonder, what's next? What's next? What's next for the garden? Well, I've started making some plans for the yard for next year. Who wouldn't? I mean, really. But what's next seasonally? It's a beautiful day today. What's next is that it's going to get colder. This is November the 6th. So, a month from now, December the 6th, we will be post Thanksgiving into the Advent season. For many people, Advent is just the name of a calendar that has chocolate in it. But for those of us who are preparing for Christmas, well, it's a period of waiting and learning and preparing. We'll get into that later when we're in Advent. But for right now, what's next? What's next for the garden, for the yard? What's next for my family? Where will my kids be next summer? Will they still be living at home? Will we still be in a COVID shutdown? What's next for our country? We may get a determination today on the Electoral College. As I'm preaching about this weekend, though, elections don't change anything except the person in charge. It doesn't change what's going on in the country. That's up to us. And so that's what I'd like us to think about today. What's next? What's next for you? What's next in your life? Do you have any events coming up that you are looking forward to? Probably the holidays will be different than what you're used to having. They will be for my family. We usually begin the celebration Wednesday evening and carry it through Friday. That won't happen this year. It will be a small table this year. Most years we have 8 to 10. I think this year might be 2 or 3. And that's okay. I was reminded whenever someone passes away in my family, and we have to do things differently, and I'm sure it's the same for you and your family. We think about how we didn't recognize the routine until it wasn't there anymore. This is a time in our collective life in this country where we can recognize our routines because they're not there anymore. And we get to choose what we want to have be our new routines and our new way of life. What's next? What's next politically? What's next as far as bridging the gulf between the divisions, over the divisions of our country, building the bridges over them? What do we do if people on the other side don't want to bridge the gap? Well, our faith tells us that we try anyway. We are called to be reconcilers and healers of the breach. We are called to be optimists and hope-filled, and to work for the KOG, Kingdom of God on Earth, the kingdom of God, however it is that we envision that, the realm of God, the reign of God. If you're a dimensional kind of person, you might think of it as the inbreaking of, or the overlapping and being able to move between the portals from one dimension to another. I think that's, for me, that's kind of what the kingdom of God is all about. It's having multiple realities. I can be having the reality of being connected to people and connected to God and living an upright life, as they would call it in the Bible, while I'm in this dimension here, in the world but not of the world, right? So, what's next? What's next for you? What are your next steps? Well, I would suggest that maybe the first step ought to be a nap. I think we all need to rest a little bit. This week has been nerve-wracking, even though we knew it was going to happen this way. It has been exhausting and enervating, and we need to rest. We need our stamina for the journey ahead. So take a nap, go to bed early, treat yourself to something nice, order in from a special restaurant, have a glass of wine maybe, take a hot bath, whatever it is that helps you to relax, do that. And then when you've done that for a couple of days or a while, and you feel, oh, I have a little energy back now, then what are you going to do? Well, let me propose that you assess your life. Take stock of your body and your soul and your mind, your heart, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. Assess. You'll know what to do. You'll know what the next thing is to do, because everything has a season, just like the garden, just like the yard. Everything has a season. And there's a season when it's fresh and energized. There's a season when it's in full bloom. There's a season when it's sort of retiring a little bit. And there's a season when it will fall fallow, and that's when everything is germinating inside. Be sensitive to your seasons. And that's how you'll figure out, so what's next? All right, thanks for joining me for this time. It's a little prayerful pause with the pastor when we can think of something greater than ourselves, and in this case, helping ourselves think about what's next. Maybe what's next with us in our families, in our living situations, in our jobs, in our relationships, for our country, for our involvement in our community. So, what's next? I'm Pastor Deb Swift of South Presbyterian Church in Rochester, New York. Thank you for joining me for this time. If these prayerful pauses are meaningful for you, we invite you to contribute, if you are able to the continuation of the ministry. You can get in touch with us through the information on the end cap at the end of this video. But even if you can't, we welcome your prayers and your support and your heart. Thanks so much, everybody. This is a Friday in real time, so I will see you again on Monday. Have a good, safe weekend. God bless. Take care. And bye for now.